Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. In the last episode, I was talking about fragmenting time and consolidating time. Fragmenting is not making full use of a chunk of time and getting yourself distracted, disrupted. Consolidation is keeping your attention for a long period of time. This is called the span of attention. In this episode, I am going to discuss with you a very important misunderstanding we have in our minds. The misunderstanding is whether we can manage something on which we have no control. I'll put it in a simple language so that you will all understand. We talk about time management. We talk about finance management. We say production management, materials management, people management. The moment you use the word management, you will see a small word within the word, manage. Manage presupposes that you have control on that resource. That means you have a power to do whatever you want with that resource. We talk about materials management. You go and ask your parents, there are materials managers in organizations. They have the power to say, I want more of this material, I want less of this material. We talk about finance manager. A finance manager will have a right, will have a control on the money that is entrusted to him. He will say, I need more funds this week. He will say, okay, I will manage with less funds that week. He has a control. On one day, he can say, I don't want to spend any money. I don't want to issue any check because he has control. So these people are called materials manager, finance manager, production manager. But when you say time management, can you control time? Can you say, tomorrow is my exam, so I need more time. Only for today, I need 65 minutes in an hour. You have no time. Let's say that you have no control. Let's say that you go to Singapore, you go to United States, you go on a tour, you go to Disneyland, let's say, and it is a fantastic experience you are going through. Just because it is a pleasant experience, just because you enjoy being there, can you extend the time and say, today let me have 30 hours a week? Or let us say, you are going through a bad experience, pain, for example. Let's say, I'm sure you would have gone to hospitals where people are recovering from a sickness. Let's say that you go to a hospital where somebody is writhing pain because of fracture. And the doctor says, I cannot give pain killer because he is allergic to that. And 8 hours time, the pain will subside. And can this patient say, oh, 8 hours, okay, let me push that 8 hours very fast. You cannot do that. So please understand, you have no control on time at all. Time will go without telling you. It has gone. It is going. It will go. The best time management program, I'll tell you. Go home, take your old album, marriage album of your sister, your father and parents, your brother, or your family album. I'm sure they will have a family album. Go through the album from cover to cover. You would have been a small little toddler. Now you're all grown up. Did you realize 10 years would have gone so fast? You cannot stop time. You cannot speed up time. You cannot get time. You cannot give away time. So there is no such thing as time management. But then the question is, what is in our control? What you do in a unit of time is in your control. So you don't control time, you control an activity. Let's say that you have half an hour in the morning. You cannot shorten the time. Half an hour is half an hour. But what you do in this half an hour activity, you can control. You can ask yourself, is it helping me? Is it good? Is it appropriate? Will it be useful? Is it important? Let us do this. If it is not important, let me not do it. Very, very simple. I've been telling you in the previous episodes, if you cannot manage time, you cannot manage anything in life. If you manage time, you can manage anything in your life. So you are not controlling time, you are not managing time, but you are managing an activity which takes place in a unit of time. That is what I am trying to say. All right, how do you do that? The first and foremost is, 10 years from now, what is that you want to be? Start dreaming. Start dreaming. In fact, people used to say, do not daydream. People used to say, but I say, daydream. Daydreaming is very, very important. You get excited. Just imagine that you are in the best of the colleges 5 years from now. Just imagine in 10 years you have finished your post-graduation degree or professional degree. You are all employed with the highest of the salary. Just visualize your office, which is air-conditioned with the cozy furniture, the fantastic food court, and the type of friends and the money, and visualize your bank account. Visualize your parents will feel so proud. Visualize their facial expression. That's called the dreaming. Dr. Abdul Kalam said, dream is not what you get in the night, but dream is that which makes you not to sleep. There is a quotation I saw. There are some people who live in a dream world. There are some who face reality. And there are those who turn one into the other. So there are people who stay in the dream world. There are who face reality. But successful people are those who turned the dream into realities. So ask yourself, 10 years from now, you're all about 13, 14, 15 years now. At 23 years, you would have settled down in your job. You'll be carrying a degree with you. And you will be employed. 21 years, 22 years is the time you get into an organization. If 10 years is that's what you want, next 5 years, which is called the medium term goal. 10 years is the long term. Next 5 years. So it makes a lot of sense for you. Oh, I'm now in the 9th standard. Oh, I'm now in the 10th standard. The next 4 years I would have completed my plus 2. And once I completed plus 2, nothing can be done. Right? Because there is no question of re-exam. Then next 5 years, I should be the best of the colleges. So 10 years, 23 years, you are going to be in a fantastic job of your dream. In the next 5 years, you have to be in the college of your choice. And then the next short-term goal, next 6 months, what you are going to do. We are already in the month of October. Right? November, December, January, February, over. March is the exam. Okay, so 10 years, 5 years, 6 months, the next block of time, unit of time is next week, this week. Today we are on a Monday. By Saturday, what is that you want to do? So be very, 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 very focused. Time management. Again, I use the word time management because it is popularly known. But what we are trying to manage is what? Activities only we are trying to manage. Then what do? Have certain index. Measure time. Anything which cannot be measured, which cannot be touched, which cannot be seen, cannot be controlled. So maybe you can have a timer. If you have a mobile phone given to you in the house, put a timer. Tell yourself, when I watch the television, 40 minutes I'm going to watch, Put a timer 40 minutes. At the end, when the timer goes, stop that. Let's say that you want to sleep on a Sunday. Let's say that you want to sleep for an hour and a half. Put a timer. Tell yourself, night 10 o'clock I'll go to bed, 5 o'clock I'll get up. Put an alarm. If you have to do a couple of things on a schedule, put that in the schedule. Let's say that you have to pray. Let us say some of my friends pray 5 times a week, 5 times a day. So they put the schedule. Or I tell my friend, I will telephone you at 4 o'clock. I put a timer. It reminds me. So very, 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 very simple common sense. Are you disciplined? Have a watch. Look at the clock. What am I supposed to do now? But at the same time, don't become a time nut. A time nut is a person who is so very conscious about time. Right? And he says, oh, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock. No, I'm not asking you to do that. Let's say that you want to give half an hour for a job, take 35 minutes. If you want to watch a television for 40 minutes, okay, 1 hour. Give yourself that leniency. But at the end of 1 hour, stop it. This is what is called discipline, time discipline. We need thought discipline, we need body discipline, we need food discipline, we need financial discipline, we need behavior discipline, we also need time discipline, which means you understand what is that I want and what is that I am doing. So today we discussed about what cannot be controlled is time, but what can be controlled and mastered is your activity. Get up in the morning, list down 4 little things that you want to do today. Before going to bed, tick whether you have completed it, and that is the best way. I'm telling you, success in life is very, very simple, but we only complicate it. The success in life means identifying what should I do in this unit of time. Let's say that you have a pocket, you decide what should go in. Let's say that you have a glass tumbler, you decide what should go in. The glass tumbler is a container. The content could be coffee, tea, water, honey, anything it could be. So decide the container is the time, the content is the activity. Choose wisely.
SRMJV is not just a school, it's a one-time experience. The school, it's a one-time experience.
VM Nagar, Tiruvallur,